So I told you I was going to change the stream, right? So all I got to tell you about the save, and I'll show you around it a little bit before we get really in depth, is that I am the Cavs. Obviously, if you're here, you're reading the title. Obviously, you know what it is. So give me just a second. I'm gonna switch over to my channel. I want to see how beautiful this looks. Back out. So we're gonna go to this. We're gonna so we are exactly at the All-Star break. So the first half of the season went down. We're gonna look at some of the trades that I haven't even looked at. We're gonna kind of go over everything, our rosters around the league, and notable big names, things like that. It's gonna be the intro, and we might play part of a game, whatever. Who knows? We'll see. Big names, things like that. It's gonna be the intro, and we might play part of a game, whatever. So let me. I've got to turn down this volume so I don't get that horrible echo. So transaction reports. Let's just kind of look at just trades first. So this is from 10/27/2018. So obviously this is a little bit further back. So yeah. Langston Galloway for Danny Green. I guess that was a depth trade for the Pistons, trying to get more quality depth. And Langston Galloway is a bit younger than Danny Green, yeah. Kid Gilchrist moves from the Hornets to the 76ers for first round and Jared Bayless. So Michael Kidd Gilchrist, first round pick, I think 5th overall. It was definitely a lottery, but a big bust for the Hornets, and they just decided to dump him off to 76ers, and 76ers was, we got room for him. Thunder shoot at the opportunity to get or to trade away Steven Adams. $25 million a year makes you a little bit scared of that. Trades it to the Kings for Willie Cauley-Stein and Iman Shumpert. Gets a center for their operation and gets rid of Iman Shumpert and Willie Cauley-Stein, who had a very solid or a very defined ceiling. Serge Ibaka for George Hill in the second round. Serge Ibaka is still giving some defensively, and I think going to the Spurs is a good idea. He gets to visit the Thunder 4 times a year, so it's something. And George Hill going to the Spurs, I would have to look at their roster. When we look at the roster, we can kind of see where he fits in. But I can't see that unless it's just a backup to like a DeJounte Murray. No, because this is 2018. He was drafted in, I believe, 2018. Continue on. DJ Augustine for Alexis Ajinka. Just depth trading. Aaron Baines for Solomon Hill. Depth trading. Courtney Lee for Andre Roberson. Thunder on the move this year. And Kyle Singler, getting rid of bad Kyle Singler contract, and Andre Roberson being an offensive black hole but a defensive god in this game. Even to this day, or hopefully still to this day, he's still considered defensively great. For Nick Young and Courtney Lee, shooting guys who could really shoot, really something the Thunder haven't focused on. But lately in these saves since 2K17, really, they've been really. I think the AI has been trading for a lot more shooting guys, some more actual depth guys instead of guys who cost a fortune, cost a buttload. Chandler Parsons for Ryan Anderson and a top 3 protected first round pick. It's not going to happen. 2021 might be closer to the end, but they're not going to drop off to top 3 pick territory. They're still probably going to have Harden, and given that, they're probably going to be at bottom end of the playoffs. If they're going to be lower, if they're going to be dropping, you trade him for the hopes and dreams, which makes sense because Ryan Anderson, or because Chandler Parsons was hopes and dreams, and in 2016 when they gave out that big contract, he just wasn't going to live up to, and now it's 2018, 2 years into that 4-year contract, and yeah, that was something the Rockets were like, all right, we'll take him back. We'll take him back. We'll take him back. Trailblazers get rid of another 2016 mistake of a contract in Evan Turner and a second-round pick. For Kenneth Faried still being very solid as a power forward, and I believe that's what the Trailblazers need. If I'm not mistaken, knowing the Trailblazers' situations, they probably need it. Blake Griffin for Paul Millsap, a big just power forward swap, big name power forward swap. Both aging. Paul Millsap doesn't have quite the level of athleticism as Blake Griffin, but he's still pretty solid defensively. Can shoot, can get to the interior, kind of like Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin has really taken steps to develop himself and be really solid in this game for a solid 3 to 5 years after you start this save. Derrick Rose, Georgios Papagiannis for Dwayne Wade and Frank Mason. So 2 young guys, Frank Mason, Papagiannis. In the Kings organization, I guess they needed center depth and point guard depth. Dwayne Wade, old, close to the end of his career, going to be the backup to probably, or most likely going to be the backup to Donovan Mitchell. Not really where I want to see Dwayne Wade, and getting backup point guard depth. Instead of Derrick Rose, they decide Frank Mason. I disagree. Frank Mason is not the greatest in this game. Develops into decent overall, but nothing special. Trailblazers, Maurice Harkless for Jared Bayless. That could have been salary dump. I don't know the background behind that. Jeremy Grant goes from the Bucks to the Nets for Matthew Dellavedova in the second round. I really like the way Jeremy Grant develops in this game because I like his base character. He's super athletic, can get to the rim, can defend pretty decently against athletic guys. He's not big. He's pretty thin for a power forward, and he doesn't really have a jumper. But you can work with him over the next 3 or 4 seasons and get him to have a decent jumper, and it'll be useful as a kind of a stretch forward. He's still more of an inside presence, but I think he'll serve more as maybe 2013 Blake as far as shooting outside goes, so it's not something you would suggest him do, but he can knock him down, and he could still work on it as he gets older. Mirza Teletovic, and a trade exception from the Magic, goes to the Wizards for Jason Smith. That's another depth trade. Thank God that it's past the trade deadline, because I don't have to see none of this. What? So they trade the first round from us that they got, top 10 protected. We're not going to be in the top 10. We're actually in decent. I'll show you that. And Miles Plumlee for Tony Snell in the second round. That's a lot of hopes and dreams for the Bucks, but I see why they're going to do it. Timofey Mozgov, Ian Mahinmi. Oh, so they're going to get that pick for sure. It might be a really crappy pick. Okay, so it's protected for us. It's top 10. Timofey Mozgov for Ian Mahinmi, a center swap, a veteran center swap, and 2 second swaps. Cool. Signings, Thaddeus Young re-signs. Trailblazers signed Shabazz Mohammed. Boban, we re-signed him. Eric Bledsoe, Goran Dragic stay still. As far as you could look through these, pause these. We'll go over them a bit more and see how they fit in a bit better. But other than that, there's just a bunch of re-signings and depth signings at the moment. There's no big names coming on, and I can assure you of that. Staff hiring, Mike Stauffer goes from... I don't remember exactly where he starts out from. I think he starts out with the Hawks. Yeah, and they go from Steve Clifford to Mike Stauffer. So I think that's a better deal. Nothing against Steve Clifford. He's just not their coach in Orlando. Then again, Orlando never really develops anything, so it's whatever. G League stuff, and that's about it. So injuries: Dwight Powell out for the season with a broken vertebrae. Hopefully he could bounce back and at least have some form of a career after this. Tony Allen, dislocated left patella. Pretty much the rest of the season's done. Nikola Vucevic, same there. Fractured left leg, same injury, same amount of time for DJ Wilson, Alex Lynn, right bicep, Jonas Jerebko, Kenny Oubre, or Kelly Oubre. Any other big names? Draymond Green, calf muscle, 6 to 8 weeks. Tobias Harris, severe ankle sprain. LA out for, or hurt for 6 to 8 weeks. He's probably, I don't know whether he's actually still playing. He might. Trae Young, broken wrist, 4 to 6. JJ Redick out. Tony Parker out. Kristaps out. Marcus Smart out. That's about it. So let's look at the award races. LeBron came back to the question that I guess would be first asked as a fan of the Cavs or of the series. You knew that going into 2018 offseason that the Cavs had a decision to make. They were coming off of a not so successful finals appearance against the Warriors again. Alright, air conditioner noise. Sorry about that. And so off of that, LeBron's contract was coming up. They had a lot of money dipped into a whole slew of names. And they were kind of spinning their tires because it had been relatively the same thing since 2016. And by this point, the Warriors have already caught on. They'd already won their championship, so LeBron was prepared to move on, for he had already successfully brought a championship to the town of his youth, or the team of his youth, and done what he had set out all of his career to do. Well, what would you do in that situation? Throw your hands up and rebuild, which is exactly what I did. Well, I thought quality youth and quality depth really made the team. And no matter whether we were going to have LeBron on there or not, we really had to focus on the draft first, which happens first. It's the draft, then free agency, not free agency, then draft, so you don't have to, have a team really crappy beforehand and him look at the team and say, I don't really see myself fitting in with this team no matter what. There can't be anything you could do. So you could do whatever you need to leading up, and you could really take a handle on during the draft and between picks 5 and 6. We successfully, within 45 seconds, sent off trades to get not only the number 10 pick but future first rounds, and got rid of a bunch of cap, so we could not only sign LeBron James to a big contract but really fill out the rest of the contract and give ourselves money for the future if we need to do that. And especially for extensions for some of these young guys that I'm going to show you that we managed to get a hold of. Stephen Curry, right behind him. I'm going to assume that it's probably going to end up being LeBron or Giannis. I could also imagine Curry doing it, but I think the impact that these two have on their teams outweighs what Curry's currently doing, even if he has more points than anybody in the league. Rookie of the year, you can kind of see where they've gone. We'll go over that some more as we get to the rosters. Sixth man of the year, Kevin Love. You'll see that as well. And most improved player. So, now we go to the rosters. We're going to go roster by roster, kind of go through their top 5, top 6, top 7 notable names, how they got there, and just kind of going over where they are, and once we get past there, we'll go over where they are, and maybe continue with the simulation, finish out the rest of the season, and get into the postseason and really start working on that. Maybe. We will see. So, as for the 76ers, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Kevin Love as their power forward behind Ben Simmons. I would imagine that they're getting ready to change him to point, but if not, I'll just change him real quick. Confirm changes. There you go. Now they got their starting 5 figured out pretty much, except for the shooting guard. So, alright. Since that's a real-life move, I feel like that was just a change I had to make. Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Kevin Love, Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, Rashawn Holmes, and Robert Covington. This team looks pretty solid, even going throughout their depth, even without Markelle Fultz or anything. They're looking really solid. Even their bottom is not terrible. Looking at the Bucks, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Jabari Parker, Eric Bledsoe, last year's draft pick Papadopoulos. He'll be coming in, another Greece product, but he's much more polished. Have at least solid potential. He'll probably end up right around where John Henson is. So I think that that was a 2-year session. Is 1 year after this. So he's got 1 more year. And then you got Malcolm Brogdon, and there's Jeremy Grant. You can take a look at him, a 75 overall, which is not terrible for most super young teams, rebuilding teams. He's a fringe starter, but he is, I think, by nature a very, very good backup. He's top 10, top 9 for me if I were to get him. I don't need him. Luckily for this one, but you can kind of see he's kind of lacking. 3-point shot open. Yeah, and mid open. His open shots are terrible. He just contested and moving. You can't do anything. But he's got great shot IQ. Good layups. Good inside. Pretty good dunking. He's got pretty good hands. He gets a hold of the ball and really can control it from there. Defensive IQ, box out isn't half bad. If you see him, he's 6'9", 220, so he's not like he's pretty thin for how tall it is, but he uses his weight productively. Low post defense IQ, his pick and roll IQ, his help defense IQ, his defensive consistency, his blocking is he has really long, lanky arms. That's really why his blocking is as great as it is. And shot contest, hustle, so he's going to go after. It looks like it. Payment arrangement. What?
I'm not sure if they forgot that we demoed or...
Well, I'm not going to say anything. We never say anything. That's whatever. Of course, I have built a team led by LeBron James. We got Buddy Hield here, Jaren Jackson as our draft.
They try to say you're supposed to be Melly.
Huh?
They say you're supposed to be Melly. I'll say you're everything. Guys, you see this too.
Yeah. Jaren Jackson, the later first-round pick. No, I understand where you came from. I'm just in the middle of streaming. Jaren Jackson, the 10th round pick, the second pick that we got. We traded the 10th round pick. How we acquired that was by trading Kevin Love, and so we were easily able to get that. Nerlens Noel came from the Thunder, played his 2 years out. I believe he had. No, I think it was actually just a year. Played his year, came back out, and he looks to be taking another step towards the future and really reclaim what his potential was coming out of Kentucky. Cedi Osman, Skal Labissiere came in the trade with Buddy Hield, Boban, Sam Decker, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Kyle Korver, Jonathan Motley, Wade Baldwin, Javon Carter, and Fred VanVleet. So you could obviously see we have some major injuries to our point guards. Fred VanVleet was the first one out. He started the year as the number one point guard, a bit better just a bit better overall than we were comfortable giving Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. But Shea Gilgeous-Alexander was coming off the 6th man at the time and went down with a I think they have that. Team comparison, player comparison. There it is. Injury history for yeah, it was a sprained knee. And yeah, Fred VanVleet went out. So as far as who we got, I feel really confident. We've been doing pretty decently, and I'll show you that here in a minute. So let's look at standings let's just look at the power rankings. No, standings by conference. We can look at the East and the West. We are topping the East. So really weak East, we're dominating. We've had it's been a pretty successful season. There's been our ups, there's been our downs. But overall, we've done pretty great. We're on a 7-game winning streak as of this moment, right before the All-Star break. Things can change, and they've been known to change. The Thunder every year is pretty much that way. Celtics right behind us by 1 game. Charlotte Hornets 3.5 games back. Philadelphia 5 games back. Or 3.5 games back at them, and then they're a half game back at that. Another game and a half back behind them is Milwaukee. Wizards, Heat, Toronto, who have fallen on. Oh no, they're 500, and I guess being around 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, they're 8th seed. Indiana Pacers, Detroit Pistons, Chicago Bulls, Brooklyn Nets, and the Atlanta Hawks, followed by the New York Knicks, and rounded off by the Magic being 17-42, which is a drastic turn. But knowing that they're missing their starting center, they're developing Colin Sexton, who will turn out to be all right. Having Jonathan Simmons, who I guess it was kind of an anomaly, his years, and well, I guess it wasn't so more of an anomaly as it was a story of someone who worked hard to get to where he is, but his ceiling was defined as maybe not a superstar, but maybe a spot starter. Jonathan Isaac, who is great defensively, but is still very young. 21, yeah, that's still pretty young in basketball years. And this year he's taken a bit of a step up offensively. Actually, just all around, he's taken a bit of a step up. I guess the future will only tell on him. What? What? Yes. But okay. I wasn't saying that there was ever a rush on him.
You already fucking messed it up.
I didn't do that. I just said it over here. Alright, we take a look at the Western Conference here, starting from the bottom. Dallas, down at the bottom. Still have Luka. Picked him up with the first overall pick. I would not have done anything different. If I had Luka as any pick in that draft, I would have chosen him first. If he was anywhere, if he was available, he would have been hands down my first pick. But DSG is still there. Or DSJ. Dennis Smith Jr., Harrison Barnes is still there. Dirk Nowitzki hasn't quite retired. He will retire at the end of the season. I know it. Is generally what happens. He plays one full season, then he retires. Greg Monroe, Brooke Lopez, not the greatest two-punch center lineup ever. Jaleel Okafor, third center. So pretty heavy on the big side. Wesley Matthews, Omri Casper, Yogi Ferrell, JJ Barea, Maxi Kleber, or whatever, Josh Okogie, Dorian Finney-Smith, Nigel Hayes, Dwight Powell, Marcus Thornton. So, yeah, that team just hasn't been performing. It'll probably take them 2 years, and then they'll be all right. Portland, really down at the bottom. They've been kind of lost, gotta admit. D. Lil, Dame Dalla, C.J. McCollum, Shabazz Mohammed, Farouk or Al Farouk Amino, Yusuf Nurkic. Because I ate a lot of popsicles while you were gone, and I put them all in that cup, and then some cat came over and fucking ran over it, and I got pissed and threw them all out for like 5 minutes, and then when Ty broke down the door, I was like, whatever. It's a story of how he kicked out the cats and they just didn't care anymore. Kenneth Reed, Pat Connaughton, Zach Collins, Caleb Swanigan. Yeah, I mean, this team, there was always a potential back in 2018 for this to happen, and with the moves that they've made, they really haven't fixed anything. And you know, they need to figure out their 3. They need to figure out their 4. Their 5 is passable, and their 1s and 2s are fines. But their 3 and their 4. Shabazz Mohammed, I wouldn't trust for an entire season. And Al Farouk, as good as he is defensively, can't help their offense. Yusuf Nurkic is only limited to what he can do because he's also not going to be better than, C.J. McCollum and Damian Lillard. They need an actual third member, and they need someone that they can continue developing with. Phoenix Suns, not at the bottom, not at the top. Good for them, not down where they usually end up at. Memphis, Sacramento, the first LA team, the Clippers, followed quickly by their big brothers and the Lakers. Minnesota, New Orleans, Utah, San Antonio, Denver, Oklahoma City up here close to the top in the top 3, I believe. Yeah, top 3. Houston and Golden State, 61 or 51-6. Lord Almighty, this team is. It's Jordan Bell taking that step up in relief of, in relief of Draymond as he's injured. Is he? Yeah, and pretty much for the rest of the season as well. Has Jordan Bell been pretty decent? Yeah, I mean, he hasn't been. 10 points is about where I would expect him to be. So that's kind of where we are. We're going to continue to simulate here. We've done all we can do as far as re-signing. So the re-sign period up there on March the 1st isn't going to matter too much to us. We got 2 guys who are ineligible to be re-signed as of this point. So, we're just kind of waiting out the rest of the season, see where everything ends up, and see whether we're going to end up back at the top of the playoffs. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has fully healed. Alright, so we're still not running a backup point guard. I kind of want to get Javon Carter or Wade Baldwin in there for... No, I don't really use... Yeah, and he's kind of cold right now, so... Giving Wade Baldwin some time... No, wait. Giving Javon Carter a bit more time. I like Javon. He's got a bit better... I like his three-point stroke, and he makes it with people in his face, and I have a proven track record with him. He develops out pretty nice, and as a second-round pick or an undrafted guy, typically he's pretty solid to have as a backup point. Can end up as a fringe starter or a starter for a team that would rather focus on everything but the point. Someone that they don't have to pay tons of money and could be kind of a role guy. A guy, I guess, kind of just a guy who's good but not great, but can be good enough to keep on a franchise for a long amount of time and not really, fall out of the starting lineup, and just old consistency. What?
In Oklahoma, we don't say you missed the exit. We say, where are you going?
Yeah, that's 9 times out of 10 what the reaction is.
Yeah.
Where the hell? You know downtown is that way. Where the fuck are you going? Over there's the Banana Republic. Go away from there. No, we don't have Banana Republic. Yeah, we do. Yes. That's the mall. And Shea Gilgeous-Alexander goes out twice. We're going to have to keep track of these young guys getting big injuries like that because they could start to pile up and their careers could peter off. Hey, Van Vliet is back. So, yeah.
Huskies walking into stuff. I love that ice.
Anything to cool them off. It looks like we're going to end with a pretty decent season this year. Pretty good record. Let's see how it finishes off, though. The simulation could be kind of wonky. I want to end off on a win no matter what. That's kind of how I want to end off every season. Is if we end off in a win, the momentum going into either the next season or the off season, for me at least mentally, it'll be like, well, there at least we got a win at the very end.
Man saved our dog. You can see our cat jumping out the fucking window. And the house fire.
The cart. Alright, so we're going to let it sim out the... and we end off on a win. We got onto a bit of a skid against the Kings. And Curry...
Happy birthday to man who made pizza rolls.
So, LeBron James... Man, I don't know. I kind of felt like he deserved it, but we're going to let it be. Luka, above and beyond, 12 points, 8 rebounds, 7.5 assists, a steal and a half a game, half a block a game. Did really good throughout the season. Montrezl Harrell, 6th man of the year.
He's like, this heat is so hot, dude.
Pugs are so fucking next. They are... Pugs are something else. Defensive player of the year, Kawhi, another one for the big man. Continuing to dominate. He went going. Jamal Murray and Steve Kerr touched the 71-11. Yeah, there's a spotlight hour for something. I forgot what it. Yeah, I don't know. It's like double the candy for transfers though. So. He's like, what's he gonna do? So we are the 1 seed, obviously. We did really good. Huh? Alright, we're gonna simulate series or round by round just because. Scalabissieri, a backup power forward going out in such a crucial time as this. That means Jonathan Motley stepping up, and we're going to give away Boban's position for Javon again. Give him massive minutes so we don't have as much stress on Van Vliet. He's only getting 24 minutes, so every minute else that we give away. Alright. We're tied 1-1. 1-2. Yes. Deal with him. Deal with him. Yes. Don't give him any breath. That's what we really got to focus on. We got our biggest challenge. We got a big challenge. The second biggest challenge we could have had in this, or third biggest challenge we could have had. No, it's the second. I guess they're third biggest because I never ever foresaw Charlotte doing tons. Somehow that just doesn't. It that doesn't seem right. Like, I don't know. Hornets being the 4th seed, just something. I mean, I guess I see it because it kind of seems like what their top end would be. But yeah, Boston kneeled down to Miami, just letting him take a piss all over him. And in 7 games, Milwaukee just let Washington know. It was nice, but no. Utah took care of Houston. Wow, pretty easy out. Denver takes care of Minnesota in 7. San Antonio takes down the 5 seed Thunder in 7 games. So, very least the Thunder fought to the very last breath, so it doesn't look as bad. And Golden State took care of New Orleans, no doubt. 1 versus 8 seed. New Orleans being, well, even more terrible than normal. So you can see our matchups. Let's simulate this current round. We're going to leave the rotation as is. Philadelphia took care of us. Oh, no, we're fighting back. And no, they took care of us in 6 games. We deserve that. We were really young. We were coming in with a lot of... They are also very young, but our guys are less developed, and they've been together for a bit longer. Hopefully, Miami's taking out some of these big-name teams. They've taken out 2/3 of the top 3 seeds. They're only the 6th seed against the 5 seed Philadelphia, who's admittedly been kind of breezing through. They've only lost 3 total games out of the 11 that they've played. So, I mean, let's see what happened here in the West. 7 games. San Antonio was like, San Antonio just probably was winded by game 7 and just was at the very end. Yeah, at the very end they were down by 20 points. They were just winded. Denver took care of Utah. 7 games. What was that final game? Another one where it was Utah just being physically exhausted. They played such a physical one. By the time game 7 happens, they've got a season plus 7 games on them, so 14 games total. And on that 14th game, it's just like, man, 162 or 82, so like 96 games, just creeping up on 100. Other than that, let's just simulate this round. Let's see what the Philly looks like. They're going to take care of Miami. Yep, sweep, get the brooms. Warriors versus 76ers. 76ers, who's done the same thing that the Warriors have done, pretty much cruise. They've lost 1 less game than the Warriors, so let's see how it goes. Warriors taking care of business early and putting them out of their misery. There's another unstoppable Warriors team. They have to worry about their cap, though. That's what I don't have to worry about that yet. But they're at their cap, so they are going to fall after this year. They are going to fall hard. This is what happens after typically the 2018. If you have a cap on, they fall hard. Actually, almost 90. Like, there's been 1% where they kept the core together when I had the cap off, but that is very rare. Like, there's usually Durant wanting to leave, Curry hitting free agent, not Curry, Steph hitting free agency, and then him ending up with like Memphis for the rest of his career. It's pretty interesting. So you can kind of see some of the big names here. Some guys you knew were going to retire at the end. Hall of Fame guys, jersey retirements. So let's go back to this get past this. Go to the draft lottery. We don't got any business dealing with anything here, do we? No, not really. Yeah, we got the 22nd pick. So that's about it. As far as staff, assistant GM Johnson, we're just going to give him years and give him some money. Gotta let this slaughter get all over there. Got to him before anyone else. That's what it was. So let's just go to this draft. Yeah. She made that. Yeah, if you ask her, she would more than happily do that. She did my entire quilt, the Ninja Turtle one. She did that, and she's done a lot of sewing. She loves it. That's why she has so much of it. All right, so we're just gonna sim to user pick, and so the tactic into this is just, I guess, kind of look for the guy that you could work on. So there's about 3 or 4 guys, a couple small forwards, and a shooting guard. Got Buddy Hield and we got LeBron, but I want to find someone who will develop behind LeBron. And the guy who's going to take a bit longer, or the guy who's going to be more... He's just... I can't deny that shooting. That A- 3-point is really good. Okay. He's like, yeah. That's about it for us. We have only one pick again. Of course, we're going to take Karen Tatum. We're not going the only person we're not going to take is Kyle Korver. So qualifying offers, I'm not even going to extend one to... I'll extend one to Motley because I feel like he deserves it. But both of them, honestly, we're not playing tons. So yeah. So we need to get... I might change... Alright, so now we just need to find one. Really, we need to get... really just a third string power forward. Third string power forward will do us for this offseason. Yeah, and we got no cap room, so... yeah, we're kind of... The thing is we're stuck because of LeBron's contract, and you know, that really just kind of straps us down for a lot of reasons. We're just gonna go after a super young guy. So the youngest guy, I also got to check potential just because this guy's going to be in here for a while. Fred Meyer, highest potential there. So if we can get a guy who's like a B, yeah, Elise Johnson will do just fine. Anybody else? Yep, that guy will do. He isn't down at the bottom, he ain't at the top. Elise Johnson, the only reason why I signed him to this contract really is cap room. Just because I don't want to fuck, not that I don't want to fuck with it. It's more that I just feel like he deserves a position. Are you gonna play on the computer, baby? Or do I need to stop my stream and go over there and play on it? Do I need to stop my stream and go over there and play on it? Okay. Alright. Alright. Continuing on. We're gonna look at player progression. Jackson taking a big stride up. I love his defense. The only reason why I drafted him is so I could have somebody that I think playing with him is equivalent to a Tim Duncan. I really think his play style, just playing with him, is a very Tim Duncan-esque defensive, very consistent, not too flashy, but, everything they needs to get something to the inside, get some people's heads, big, lanky kind of guy that you want for a long time. Cedi Osman, we might have to handle the situation. Okay. So, roster. So, trade finder for Cedi and Buddy. If I could find just like one, I like Malik Monk, but not that much. I might have no option because I can't find another one. And Vitaly Simenko. You know what? I kind of am okay with that. I like Malik Monk. Buddy Hield is an Oklahoma guy, and I live in Oklahoma, and I've been in Oklahoma almost my entire life, and Buddy graduated from Oklahoma, did so many great things for the basketball team at Oklahoma, the men's basketball team. And Cedi Osman obviously has potential, but I can't resist a Malik Monk here. And this guy, Vitaly, won't be too harmful either. Alright. So now, we have an issue. I mean, it's not... Let me just move him to small forward then. So I need another point guard. Is that another shooting guard? We'll see. We'll see. But as far as everything else, he did take a setback, but Shea still developed through all of his injuries. And Tatum will remain to be the number one, and he'll develop into whatever he needs to be. So, awesome. So, we could change this up a bit. Malik Monk, obviously. And the last one will be Karan Tatum. Potential? A-. So yeah, he's gonna be probably mid-80s. Mid-80s to maybe 87, 88. Maybe 87, 88. Continuing on, though. We're not going to do Summer League stuff. I don't really care about... I mean, it's not that I don't care. It is that I don't care. No one cares about Summer League, like, gonna be honest. No matter how much they want us to believe, Summer League doesn't matter to anybody. Be right back. Which one do you want? Here you Alrighty. Alright, we're gonna have them do all this Summer League stuff still. We're almost through it all. August 18th. Now powering through to September. Alright, where are we going? Toronto, Canada. Beautiful place to go, and hey, stop. Go. You're not allowed to chew on that. She's like, make me. Training camps. We got one. We're going to use untapped potential. I use that tons more than anything else because I can get the best out of my players. And so Shea, we've really worked with Shea. Gonna give... Yeah, we want him to really continue to develop. Alright, we're going to play the first game of the season, and we'll go from there. Away at the Heat. Wow. So let's set up, let's do our lineups. Boban will sign another contract. These guys are all team options. No, he just was signed on less than 2 years. He was signed on less than, I believe it was 4 years or something. Was it? Yeah. Yep, these were given 2 years. And I think his is option. RFA. He would be RFA, I believe. And Boban, he will resign. And he's a great backup, and we'll keep him on for 2 more years. He's tall, he's lanky, he's a great defender, and I can't really think of anybody else I would want to be my backup center. So, as far as coaching game plans, we got Tyronn Lue, and I'm really hoping that he develops like the development works. But so no matter what team I will ever have, this is what I run because it really helps get a lot of players or gets it gets young players in, and it really ignores how you play and how the coach wants to play. And freelance practice lets them have a little bit, I imagine lets them have a bit more individualism. I know it's a team game, but I feel like they would flow together if all the players are really doing what they want to do, or they feel like they need to do, and really have a great feel in practice for feeling each other's like what individualism as a player, you'd want to do that. And then I think the only thing that I really want to pay attention to is physical defense, because playing physical defense forces the shooting teams, which is what what all these teams are programmed to be like. Playing physical defense forces them to go on the inside, and if they have a good physical presence, they're going to beat you. They're going to be better at beating or better equipped to handle you. But if you're a perimeter-only team, and especially if you're one in an awkward position where you're not quite developing, so basically like the Pistons are always on, where they're in the playoffs, but they're not contenders, but they're not, they're not terrible. They're just kind of stuck in neutral. Those kind of teams, they will struggle against you. The poor teams will struggle against you because playing a physical defense overwhelms a lot of the teams that are bad because they don't have the talent to overcome all the physicality that you throw at them. But the better teams will probably respond to it better because the players are more quality and are able to shake off some of the things that you're forcing them to do. But it really allows the defense to kind of, or the offense to kind of force you to, or they can kind of feel you out and let you. I don't know. It's really hard to explain in that way. But what does he suggest? So this is what our opening day lineup's gonna be. Really? Let me get rid of Skal Labissiere and Ante Zizic. Ante Zizic. No, let's do Nerlens because he doesn't have the ceiling, and I don't really want Skal since we just got Semenko, and I like Semenko just a bit. So these guys are good. Courtney Lee will probably never play for us, and he's on 1 year, and I don't mind eating that contract. And they're getting Nerlens and Scal, so they get 2 big guys, and we get a point guard and an unprotected first round. But let me just kind of look around a little bit. Either way, we're going to be helping out a team that's going to get better. And these guys are going to get better. So let's go to coaching game plan. Yep. And then we are going to have to sign one person. Oh. So I want to sign a third center, just really not that great one. Or somebody who's just, I won't ever expect another youth guy. How about that? One of these G League guys? Again, it's a potential thing, right? Zubac. What about you? Jaleel? No. Okay. Basically what he usually ends up as. Well, I could have told you she was gonna do that if you offered her. I could have told you she was gonna do that if you offered. So day 1 lineups for us: Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Malik Monk, LeBron James, Jaren Jackson Jr., Ante Zizic. First 6-man off the year: Semenko, Boban Marjanovic, Wade Baldwin, and Fred VanVleet. And Javon Carter, but I'm probably going to sit VanVleet and give those 3 minutes to him. And give Tatum those minutes. And, yes, that's the only change we're going to make, and we're going to go to Miami. We're gonna change their unis because I like these These are dope as hell. Hey! Oh, all these city jerseys look so sweet. I'll wear the urn just because it's gonna offset that black. So I think we have to change that. You'll see what I mean here in just a minute once we get going. Alrighty, here in Miami for opening night basketball. American Airlines Arena is rocking tonight for the debut of their Miami Heat. Can you close the door? All the AC got out. You should be. All right, we're getting ready for tip-off. Cleveland jumped out of the playoff spot by whoever did it. 76ers. It's good. And looks to shake off what they did last year. Miami looks to bounce back and continue to build for the future. We'll see what happens as the tip-off goes to Miami. Thrown back to Dragic. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, notable as he's starting for the first time, just outright starting as far as no injuries causing it. This is his very first start full-time. Nobody else debatable for him.
I probably didn't help you with your deodorant by using it.
Probably not. I need some more. I'm literally out. Need to buy a lot if we're gonna both use it.
I don't know. I like it because it smells good.
I figured. Plagued by injuries, Shai needs to really figure out what's going to be his niche, as there's a miss there, rounded up by Jaren Jackson, another player to talk about. as he's looking to really continue his development. He looked really good in the offseason, and he really looks to make his name as a superstar defender. And as captain consistency, maybe the next captain fundamentals, next Timmy D. Another big name, Malik Monk, got traded for the previous shooting guard, Buddy Hield. Is he going to be better? Is he going to bring more to this team? What is his role going to end up being? Is he going to have a lot of ball handling? Is he going to be more of a spot-up shooter? What? What?
He'll be gone for probably another hour or so.
When? Why? We're doing this tonight? Why?
So,
Seems more like you could have done it like tomorrow or something. Ridiculous. Continuing on. I do. Doesn't discount the fact that what I said. Alright, Dion Waiters dribbling it, passing it to Dragic, getting blocked there. Good block by Malik Monk, showing he's got some defense there. Passing it to Shea. This Miami side is no slouch, has been pretty competitive over the last couple years. Never one to doubt or count out when you're playing against them. Solid lineup, front to back. Goran Dragic, Dion Waiters. Looks like there's Brandon Ingram in there. Justice Winslow. Oh, that might be Beasley. No. Yeah, that's Beasley. Michael Beasley? His build looks a lot... Nah, no, I can't say that. 3-6. Dragic. Shea backing off. Whiteside gets the ball. Dribbles it a bit. Zizic follows him. Beasley gets really just suffocated by Jackson. Gets the rebound. Monk gets the ball, dribbles it back. Tries to break down Dion Waiters. Dion Waiters is what I used to call him back in 2K16. Some of my very first 2K streams were of watching Neon Dion get his name, being legendary at making some plays you don't expect. He's got an unrivaled... Huh?
Be careful. Take a spread from there because there's less sugar in it.
Oh, I won't be grabbing one for a while. Free throw. Good. 9-3 now. 9:05 remaining in the first. Waiters crosses the half court and immediately Spoelstra calls for a timeout. And they're going to regroup and figure out how they can wrangle things in before they become worse. Alright, after the timeout. Did I say I did? You're assuming a lot. Passes it in, gives it to Dragic, dribbles it a bit at the American Airlines Arena logo, dribbling it back to the middle of the court, into the paint, and pumps and drops it in. And one opportunity here. 9-5 now. Good drive there by Dragic, finishing even with the defender right on top of him. Can't convert though. Javon Carter, first moments in, easy layup as he comes running across. Doesn't have tons of athleticism, but defensively he's got ace stealing. He's got a pretty good stroke from deep. He makes some difficult shots before he develops. After he develops, it's debatable. I haven't really him developing and his play style as he develops is a really weird one because he's not tall, but he's not short, and he's got a good stroke, but it just takes a while to get used to. See, right there, like that's something I want him to not. I don't want him to step out of bounds before he makes a shot like that. But yeah, you can see he made that no problem. Even with B ratings, he just seems to make them. It's just the way that release is just absolutely freaking beautiful in 2K19. I didn't really adventure much into finding him until I came back to 2K19 on my PlayStation. And we hand the ball over, and he misses. Winslow gets the ball, safely passes it to Monk, who gets all the room in the world, shoots it, and drains it. Extends the lead to 7 points, 14-7, with 7:38 remaining and counting. Goran Dragic passes it to Whiteside, posting up high in middle of the arc. Malik Monk defending Dion Waiters, but trails off a bit to his left and behind him a bit, and not great there. Javon Carter dribbles it, passes it back, passes it to Monk, passes it to Zizic, passes it back out to Monk, calls for a screen. Zizic gives him a screen, gives it to Zizic, and he easily dunks it in. I don't think he pushed away. The defense just kind of wasn't expecting him to get the ball, but great ball vision there, great court vision there by Malik Monk as he finds his teammate right behind the defender that was in front of him. LeBron passes it, gets it back, outside the paint right in the free throw arc. Calls for a screen, gets the one on the wrong side, I would imagine. Gives it to Carter, and Carter, nothing but net. Catch, shoot from LeBron, nothing but dimes, makes his team better, and Javon Carter is no doubt. Good steal, can he get it? No, Goran Dragic just a bit faster than Carter. And Malik Monk gives up. Dion Waiters gets a dunk. Neon Dion, showing why he's got that name. Passing it back to Monk. Blocked. Got it by Zizic. Wow, Malik Monk getting blocked as he's driving. Getting that screen. Throwing it up. And slammed down by Jaren Jackson. Good alley-oop. Showing that chemistry that they really worked on in the offseason. A lot of the news that was just fluff piece apparently came true here. First game in, and they are already showing their improved potential together. LeBron James brings it up. Puts up a shot, not the greatest of shots. Tragic. Carter passing the ball around to Jackson, back to James, back to Jackson, looking for another screen, calls it on the other side, and this is all James here. Drives, gets a good foul. Winslow wasn't moving much there, and that was just putting his hands up and not letting him pass. Then LeBron James pretty much just fell as he tried to go around him, almost got the ball in. 2 free throws. First one, good. 4 points for LeBron, 1 rebound, 2 assists. Wade Baldwin coming in for Malik Monk. Yeah, I want to save for after stream. Whenever you get back or something. LeBron James, second one. Good. 23-15, early lead for Cavs, putting the foot to the throat, continuing their dominance. Not expected after the complete shelling of the team, but the quality youth highly touted guys developing exactly how they were supposed to. Maybe a bit slower for Shea, but Jaren Jackson getting at number 10 more than what was expected, and potentially, maybe, Hall of Fame. Still 2 years into his career. Plenty of basketball left to be played, but already looking really solid.
It's still partying.
I don't think it is anymore. Passing it in to Dragic. Semenko. Don't know why that foul was there, but yeah, foul. 4:26 remaining in the first quarter. To Dragic, who shoots it, no good. Wade Baldwin gets that one, passes it to Carter, and shooting it, another good shot. 6 points here, 26-17. Javon Carter gets the steal, passes it to Jackson, who jams it. Jaren Jackson showing that he could finish off from the half court, playing the half court ball pretty well, and jamming it in very easily. No flair needed, just pure power. Passing the half court line, Dragic calls the timeout on the American Airlines Arena logo, trying to find what they need to do in this 11-point deficit to really take a step up and do something. Javon Carter coming in. First game of the season. First game of the season is a really weird one for a ton of teams. There's a lot of hope for all the teams that they're going to make the playoffs, but there's a lot of teams that internally that know that they're probably not as good as what they seem, and just teams just trying to figure out what to do next. And it's really weird for players because there's going to be players who really show out on their first game, and then there's going to be players who really don't show up and everyone's going to be writing later this week, is this guy, somebody to look for on the upswing based on one game, or is this guy somebody on the downswing, blah, 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 what have it, vice versa. All of them. Tatum, rookie, 22nd overall, and already got a foul. Looked pretty similar, but on the opposite side to LeBron James. So trying to imitate the great one, making his first one easy. Tatum, second one, bounced off, 1 for 2 now. 1 point. Tatum's there's a lot of developmental talent behind the first set of two sets of guys, so. Oh, good try by Johnson. Javon gets the ball. Passes it over. Semenko. Baldwin. Carter. Bad screen. Illegal screen. What's that all about? Reaching foul. Passing by Kelly Olynyk to Bam Adebayo. James Johnson to Dragic to Tyler Johnson. Wade Baldwin easily on him. 2.5 minutes and counting remaining. From the free throw line, Olynyk, nothing good there. Rebound. Passed up to Marjanovic. To Tatum. To Semenko. Back to bounce off Olynyk, who passed it back to Johnson, who was in the paint. Drives it up, and early jump from Marjanovic, and Adebayo takes the easy jumper. Baldwin gets the inbound. Quickly goes up to the American Airlines Arena on the opposite side of the court. Passes it to Carter. Oh, draining the shots. Highly successful first quarter for Carter. 11 points, 1 assist. I believe he's a leading scorer on this team. 32-25 with 1:42 in counting and left in the first quarter of this opening night game in Miami. Foul there. Olynyk, Miami now are in the bonus. Cleveland, lots of fouls. Needs to clean that up very quickly. Tyronn Lue needs to really push these guys to be better. Olynyk, first foul shot. Good. Oh, only foul shot. Good. 26-32. 137. Pass it in to Carter. Slows down the pace. Walks past the Miami sign at half court. Dribbles around Dragic. Passes it to Sminko. Misses. Bounces in and then out. Nothing good there. Shot attempt. Johnson. Good shot attempt. 28-32. Brought down the lead to only 4 for Cleveland. Javon Carter passing it back. Marjanovic.
I think Pop Jack and
Okay. Why?
well, I said I really hope to see Jack or James. I really want to see Jack. You said we'll look forward to meeting him.
They're gonna suck it up for me. They're gonna suck it up for me, because they know I've done the same for them many times, just because I had to. .27 seconds remaining. 2-point lead. Tyler Johnson ties it, or James Johnson ties it. Passing into Carter. 21 seconds. 20. Counting it down. Carter. Releases, no good, bounces in, tries to force the shot, no good. That's what they gotta calm down. They're playing very rushed. The second squad looks kind of weak right now, but maybe it's just that they're making their shots. And that's the end of one. Tied, 32-32. James Johnson came up, tied the game. Goodness gracious. That was an exciting first quarter. High scoring, too. 32-32 at the end of one on opening night in Miami. I love you. Alrighty then, we're back in Miami opening night. Second quarter, getting ready to get underway. You know, these teams really fought hard in the first 12 minutes, but we're going to get back to action here. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander back in the game. Tatum still in. Oh, drove to the middle, didn't make the shot. Tatum just needs to keep taking those shots. Eventually, one of those will drain. LeBron James gets the inbound. Passing it to Baldwin. Passing it to Gilgeous-Alexander. Passing it to James. Asking for a screen. Getting his screen. Oh! Bounces off the backboard and makes it. Nice move. Switching hands, everything with the defense. That's why LeBron James is who he is. He probably wasn't so happy when he saw a bunch of young guys coming into this team, and probably didn't think much of resigning. Once he got his $205 million over 5 years, he couldn't say no. Or he couldn't say no when he saw everything that happened to the draft. I think that's what made him sign. Wade Baldwin, no good. Off the rim. Oh, Marjanovic, huge block. Over 2 defenders to get that block. Still, they make a shot, 39-34, leading by 5. LeBron James, ooh, bounces off the back and then rumbles in. They just missed that one. Rolled over the rim there. LeBron James gonna take a shot from directly in the middle. Oh, tries to create another shot. No good. Good defense by this team. Starting squad has great defense. Wouldn't say the same about the second guys. Steps behind the three-point line to try that shot. No good. Gets the rebound. Nothing dropping for a long while. Or hold up. Just kidding. A little bit of a dry spell looks like it's on the horizon for this team if they can't get anything going. Tatum bounces off the backboard and gets blocked. Tries another one from range, and finally his first actual shot, I believe. Yep, that's his first actual shot attempt. Gone in. So his first actual shot attempt points for Tatum will just happen. First of many of the same. Baldwin taking a shot. No good. Off the rim. Passing it in to LeBron. LeBron getting past Olynyk. Blitzing. And it drops. Good shot there by LeBron. 11 points. 3 rebounds. 3 assists. Jumping early. Good defense still by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but James Johnson just takes advantage of that one. Passing it up to Wade Baldwin. Miranovic passing to Tatum. LeBron giving a good screen. Oh, that was a beautiful move. If only he would have drained it, that would have been even better. Oh, foul there. Shooting foul. 4th for Shai, I believe. Yep, 4th for Shai. Shai's being... He's trying too hard. That's what I'm going to say. LeBron James getting hot. Getting that rebound there. Oh, Zizic. Good pass to the inside. They just are backing off of Zizic so much. He finds so much space down there by the paint. He's almost, it's not to the point to where he's unstoppable. It's just that their defense spreads out from him really coming off the screen. They don't have great screen defense. That's where I think that their issue is that they can't handle the rollout too much. Their guys are too worried about what's going to happen to the outside because I believe that they think that we're going to kick it out. And I could potentially do that. I just don't feel like that. It's just part of my game plan right now. Good block there. Tyler Johnson. Zizic passes it around to Monk, who drains the shot. I think that's 6. No, that could be 8. That's 8 and 3 assists. Wade Baldwin, nothing going tonight, but 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Neon Dion gets a good screen there. And, well, forces a foul on Jaren Jackson. These are the next 4 games coming up for Miami. First free throw. No good. 5 points tonight. 2 for 6. Creating space, but not creating the necessary points. And made the second one. 47-44. Cleveland are trailing 3 points. Alright. LeBron. Oh. Over near the edge, but deep 2-point shot. 13 points, 13 minutes. Doing typical LeBron things. Missed that shot just playing up. In and out, I guess. Jaren Jackson, ooh, catch and shoot. Putting them into the lead by 2. I mean, I don't think expected that from Jaren. Jaren looked pretty entertained after that shot. Winslow dribbling to the inside. LeBron James on him. Beasley, easy lay-in as Jaren moves. Passing it into James, blitzing up. Coming to the right-hand side. Working on Winslow here. And Winslow doesn't jump. It doesn't matter. LeBron James missed. What? What? Me doing, her doing, you doing that to her? What? Really? Did I say I wanted you to leave the room? No. Huh? Not right now. You're leaving without a kiss. Hey. Passing it up. Too far, too fast. We're just going to get to halftime and we'll sim, and then we'll start simming the season, see where things go. 27.2 points per game. Absolutely dominant. It's got relatively the same team. A bit of new faces here, new faces there. Bit of new depth, maybe a bit more quality. Monte Zeus, another dunk. 3 and 3 for him. That's all he's getting. Good. All of his points come off of assists, so that's pretty good. Wade Baldwin chunking another assist, another foul. 51-49, 5:08 remaining in the first half. Oh, good block. I guess I figured that he's going to go to the left since I was covering pretty much everyone else. Gonna throw it in again. Assist a game, 8.5 for LeBron. Of course, Lonzo's a fucking assist machine. Lord almighty, he's literally an assist and defensive guy. Like, he never ends up being a great scorer at all. None of these saves I've seen him in, he becomes an 88 overall to 90 overall elite defending playmaker. That is all he becomes. And that's more than perfect a lot of the time, because you don't need him to be a scorer on a ton of teams. Generally, you want your best player to be someone that you could just toss to and score. And Lonzo has never struck me as a scorer. Just like a team leading scorer, he's never struck me as that. So, that's just it works out well. I don't mind him getting like the league's assist for like there was this one save. Hey Luna, stop before I one save that I had. And I got to like 2080. He retired after he was like 36, 7 or 38, and he led the league for 12 years in assists, and passed John Stockton all-time assists, and I think he won probably no championships because I was with a different team, and he stuck it out with a bunch of other different teams, and I won championships almost every year. No good there. Tossing it up a bit. Trailing by 1, you don't want to take a bunch of shots like that. Not against a team that will take advantage of those shots. Jaren Jackson bringing the ball up the court. Oh, I needed a bit more out of him. Training a 3-point shot? No. Oh, he got blocked. No. He won't get blocked from this, though. And Buddy will miss. Smenko. An acquisition. A pretty big acquisition. I think from Charlotte as well, or from wherever we got him from with Malik. Because I just needed one pretty decent shooting guard. Starting shooting guard. 80 overall is what I consider a good starter for any team. Even though it's like, it's literally barely a star. But 80 overall, if 80 overall is considered a star, that's just fine by me. Malik Monk will be my star, my superstar, my shining star. Then LeBron James, Jaren Jackson, or Jaren Jackson is just right now a rising superstar, and LeBron James, the world's best player. So, I mean, I can't really say anything. He's more than a superstar. He's an icon at this point. Just like Steph. Just like Steph. Anybody else I want to add to that? Not off the top of my head. Oh! No! Why did he not go up and just jam it, dude? Damn. Training at 3, 62 to 58. 2 minutes to go, pretty much. And he's getting blocked more often. No! Why? He should not be having this big of a cold streak. This is looking really bleak. He's 99 overall, so he'll sum out super well, but Lord almighty, how is LeBron James not being the guy that I can use? I've always been able to at least somewhat use him. He's always been a part of, like, if I'm going to choose a team to, like, absolutely show off what I got, he's always a part of it because he's done some of my most amazing moves. But Lord, he's in a bad cold streak. He's in a bad way, fellas. And his backup Tatum makes another bucket. Having a pretty decent appearance so far in his very first actual professional game. Oh, good defense by Jaren Jackson. I wouldn't have anybody else against Hassan Whiteside. There you go, Malik. 11 points for Malik. Kind of sim a little bit, and then after that, we're going to call it, and I'm going to go play something else. Play some GTA Online, maybe. Maybe I'll stream that too. That one. I kind of want to watch videos too. Oh, step back three. No. Sminko. Oh. Oh, wait. Boban. No. Don't do him dirty like that. Oh. Oh. Don't do him dirty like that. Ugh. I'm gonna watch this video afterwards and be like, yeah, I agree with that, because I'm only going to agree with myself because of my big-ass ego, and then I'm going to do something like, oh, yeah, I played pretty well, didn't I? But I'm going to be hyped. The adrenaline of watching someone play a sports video game, if I get really into it, like, there's a couple of YouTubers like Docs with this fucking FIFA, like, I could do that all day. Moonlight Swami, nah, not so much anymore. Mr. Hurricane for sure, though. Docs. Back in the day, 2017 with Straight Out of Boston with the Out of the Park Baseball. That's why I bought Out of the Park Baseball 21 was because of him.
and that's why I kept it in my mind for so many years. Probably the same reason why I'm going to end up buying like Football Manager, or the reason why I've always had in my mind to buy Football Manager, or Football Manager. So I would be down with that. That would be something cool. But yeah, no, I could get really into something. Like there's been some times with the where I've been I've been almost in tears just watching these videos, like breaking down. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe that just happened. Like taking a deep breath and everything. Like sometimes it gets like that, and I get like that in these games too. It's just something from playing sports and just from experiencing so many moments that have gone down in history as like the greatest. Watching Triple Crown, watching what's that horse's name do it? Back in like 2018. But we're not watching that. It's gonna go down in history. Watching all these finals, watching a bunch of these games. Just having the memories of like when the Super Bowl with the Patriots. I think it was the second one where he did the helmet catch with Eli Manning, the New York Giants beating the Patriots. That one was cool. But yeah, watching the Thunder finals versus the Heat. Watching tons of really clutch OU moments that will go down in college football history as like some of the greatest. Watching these OU teams recently that have been literally the best offenses to step out on a field in college football history. Things like that. So obviously this team has some ups, has some downs, unfortunately. That's with every team, but I think all of its downs comes from being super young. I think that's just the biggest issue that we have. We won by 11 points. LeBron 25, 10, 6, and 2. 8 for 21, so pretty inefficient. 2 for 7. Made all his free throws though, so if there's anything about him, he hasn't lost his free throw attempt or free throw. But first game of the season, looking a bit 34 there, but Jaren Jackson, solid game, 21-10. Nothing else. 2 blocks. Malik Monk 20, 3, 6, 1, 1, and 1 turnover. Javon Carter 12, 0, 2, 2. Ante Zizic 11 points, 13 rebounds. Or 12, 0, 2, 2. Sminko 6, 9, 3 in his debut here, and if I am not mistaken, it's his second year in the league. I was like, is it his first year? No, it's not. Tatum's first game in the league, 5 and 1, 5 points, 1 rebound. So pretty solid or at least decent. Nothing too spectacular as a 22nd overall pick. Honestly, this is about what I expect from him. Hopefully, he continues to really take steps and develop. Shea just ran into a lot of foul issues. Fouled out tonight with 4 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 2 steals. Just got too physical. Probably got fouled out pretty early, plus minus of 1, so really could have been effective. 4-2 and 4-2, 5-1 and 1 for Wade Baldwin. Fred VanVleet got 1 minute, took 1 attempt, nothing happening there. Elise Johnson got a rebound in his 1 minute, and Kui didn't get any time. Did not play. Alrighty. I want to swim to the halfway point, so we'll get there and then we'll call it. And yeah. Freaked me out for a second. I like that though. So the first 2 weeks, or the first 3 weeks. Let me just get here, I guess. First 3 weeks. Up and down. We're currently 5-3, 5-4, 5-3, 5-3, 5-3. With our only losses coming against, well, I mean, honestly, who else could we have expected there? The Celtics, or our 3 losses comes to 76ers, Celtics, and the Hornets. Maybe their 4th place wasn't a fluke last year. I might have. That might be. We might. All right. But we got quality wins against the Thunder, and that's about it. So it's been pretty easy. Our next 2 weeks, Portland, Utah, San Antonio, even the Lakers, and maybe even the Clippers. So most of these next 2 weeks are going to be a bit of a challenge. We take our easy win there. Take our win there. Good win, boys. Can't trade him. A dominating win. Blew him out. Lost pretty big there. Yeah. Got a good win against the Clippers. Got a good win there. Good win, boys. 104.99. Get a win here at home. Yes, still win there. Don't give it up there, boys. There we go. Also, 2BC Productions. Shout out to you for the NHL stuff. I want to do some of that. You guys are what got me into YouTube and really wanted me to do this sports thing because I know that there's a market out there, but I just really need to find my grip. But here we go. Fred VanVleet in a second for Kelly Olynyk. I don't value Kelly Olynyk even close to Fred VanVleet, but especially not with the second attached. No, thank you. So 11. We've only lost once, and that was. Let's just take a better look at what happened there. DeMarcus Cousins went off. Kyle Kuzma had a solid game. Hart was effective, and 11 points and 11 assists. That's pretty solid there. Double-double. Double-double for him. And what did we do? Zizic, I think our thing was... I don't really know how we lost that one. Let me just look at this. They just really had They just beat us in the 4th. We couldn't finish it off in that 4th quarter. Like, it was into the 3rd. 36-38, so that 2-point lead. Lakers beat us in the 2nd by 4 points. So +6 in the first 2. Wait, yeah, +6 in the first 2, so they're up by 6.5. Then we're up. Then it's by 4, and then that final quarter is where we get whooped by +15 to get 19-point loss. And that's the type of thing it didn't happen so much here as this was a defensive battle and this one was also defensive. If it's a defensive battle, it's just because we're so evenly matched. Like, this one was also a defensive battle. If it's within 10 points, I think it's more, especially if it's single digits, we're probably way more of a defensive battle. And so I think very lightly of what the actual, like, win-loss is. It's just we getting beaten because we just get out-fought. Another Utah Jazz. We win! Oh, come on. Not to Sacramento. You better not give it up to another Western Conference fluff piece. Karen Tatum. Goodness gracious. Okay. That's not so much of a blow as it is like, well, that's not so great. So we're just going to give his time. And this is a good thing. We could just sub in what we need to out of the remains. And if we need to sign some depth, we can. So we got the. So for the rest of this part of the sim, I'm not going to sim to the 10th like I was going to. I kind of stopped here. So we just took a big loss here. So we need to really rebound. So that was a 23-point loss. God damn. We got absolutely pummeled. They just took advantage. They were just in fetal position the entire time by Jimmy Butler, Musa, Millsap. What the hell is this team, dude? What? Like, it's a very, actually, like, just technically speaking, it's a very good team, but, like, it's more than what I thought was going to be on that team. Alright. So we better not lose here, but we're at home, so we got that home court advantage. We come back and go, or we travel to Miami. We come back home for Pistons, get a couple days off, and then fly out to 76ers, fly out to Philadelphia, or drive up to Philadelphia. Hell, 3 days off, coming home for a couple games against the Pacers and the Lakers. We should theoretically lose one. Yeah, we should only lose one. So if we lose more than one, see that's a big loss right there. We can't be taking those. No, Wade Baldwin's not gonna go. Ante Zizic. Nothing going on there. So if we lose here, you know what? This might work out in a better way because I'm not that like that big loss against Miami. Like when we lose this, it's big. That's kind of the thing. Now Elise Johnson is out. Wow, where? Oh, yeah, Courtney Lee. Okay. I need someone who will more than likely small forward. Yeah, all of these guys will take my minimum. Any guys up here? I mean, even he was like, nah. I mean, alright. So I like Doug McDermott. Doug McBuckets, McThunder Buckets. That's so stupid. Alright, Doug McDermott. Don't get injured. Really, he's a solid filler for a year. Get a couple days, get a bit of healthy, let you guys get a rest. Let Dick McDermott get a couple practices in. Get a couple good wins here. And how do we lose on national TV at home against the Lakers? They're really by 23? Why? Why are you losing against Miami like that? So we took 2 losses. Like, I would have been okay taking 1 loss here and that's about it. But taking a loss against Miami and taking another big loss at home against the Lakers? Lord. So now we got, I'm just going to stretch it out into 2 weeks here. 3 weeks. In this 3-week stretch, 1 challenge. So I'd be okay with 1 loss. 2 loss. Well, would be cautious because they're number 1. So I'd be okay with the loss here. This one will be maybe a bit of a challenge, but I expect us to win. I expect us to win here. I gotta just here. There's 2. So there should be 4 losses in this big stretch, maybe 5. No, 4. Because Toronto's terrible this year. 4 challenges there. So, let's see. Oh, yeah, I knew we were going to take a big loss there. And we get dicked down by At the very least, we take a win there. We didn't take 2 losses against the Bucks. We stole one back. Goodness gracious. Good job getting healthy there, Tatum. Take over for Doug McBuckets. Oh, continuing. Good win. So this week should be all wins. Should have a successful win. Goran Dragic for Wade Baldwin. No, I can't do that because Wade Baldwin is actually really good right now. That's the weird thing, is that he's developing. Wait. What? They're offering me a trade for. Wait, no, he's developing. No, fuck that. No, no. It's like what? This is gonna become a problem with Semenko. I just like, this is the swap, but not a swap I want. I'm not gonna worry about it right now because as of this moment, I could use it in the right around the draft and really pick up some. And especially if I attach my number 1 on there, then maybe the second we might be able to get some momentum here. So we lost second time against 76ers, but other than that, we got our expected 5 losses, but they're to completely incorrect teams. Okay, not there, but there. Where are the Bulls? 8th seed. All right. I said it would be challenged, but I didn't expect us to lose. I don't know where they are, but they were last in the West last year. Absolutely butt-fuck sucked, and we lost 7 points. A good defensive battle, but still, I mean, goddamn. And then we lost 6 points to the Nets, so that one, fair enough. They're 6th seed. That's a bit more debatable since we're 3 seed this year. But, and we took one against the 76ers. Yeah, we're a middle-of-the-pack playoffs team. I don't know why things have changed so drastically overnight, but that's how the NBA works. In this next period, the Nuggets and the Rockets are the only ones I expect us to get challenged. Not the Knicks. At least we went against them. And, see, that was close. That was super close. Okay, alright. Everyone's healthy now. We took 2 losses. And we didn't get dicked down. We lost by a total of 6 points in those 2 games. Knicks. Where are the Knicks? That's just one of those wins that they come out and get. And the Rockets, I gotta imagine, are relatively good. Can't imagine anything else. We'll see at the end of the season. Wade Baldwin's out now. Great. Good job, Semenko. You got your step-up game. Courtney Lee. Cool. Getting 11. 14. I don't remember how this is all set up. I got 4 minutes left. Let's give it to Carter. There we go. Courtney Lee. 18, 21, 27. And he's getting a lot of minutes. I might, right around that trade deadline is when I might do something. So here in a couple weeks, I might just sim up to here or up to the 12th and figure out what to do. These. first things first, we add him there. There. So, there's a challenge. The Hawks also, somehow, but especially there. No, I'd never expect there, no. And, the Heat have kind of fallen face first. No. Okay, alright, so. Really? In this time period, the Spurs are the only ones left. And it's on national TV away. Oh, we responded so well. And we got a bit of an injury there. Big boy went down. It's fine. So let's see, get all of his minutes. This is just plug and play at the moment. I just can't do anything more than plug and play with them. A defensive battle, probably something nobody wanted to watch at the very end, but we did it. Aw, sweet. No, thank you. Yeah, no. Ah, so now that we look at our outlook, we are looking to fire on all, or we are looking and firing on all cylinders. Taking Smenko off the trading block. Don't feel like he needs it anymore. We might just finish out the season and again see what he looks like at the draft. But as of this moment, Smenko looks to be bringing a lot into this. So we are on a 1, 2, 7 win streak. Can we continue it? Challenge there, away. This big stretch of, it looks like 5 games where we're away. We only got 2 games home for the rest of this first half of the season. We had a lot of home games this first half of the season, so there will be a lot more away games. Especially right off the bat after All-Star until we settle in a bit more at the very end. We're kind of flipping 3 days on, 3 days off for the last 3 weeks of the season, pretty much. So continuing on, so we're getting to the 12th. In that time, the Raptors, not a challenge anymore. I forgot about that. The Wizards, 4th seed, so there's a challenge there. The 12th itself is a challenge. The 8th away is a challenge. Nothing there. And the Pacers are 7th seed, so maybe. So this, I expect, honestly, if we're talking about losses, 2 losses. Even here, when they're 29, it doesn't matter to me. 8 wins! Another one on national TV. Keep him in. Another 4-point win. Can we do it? Oh, another one! Oh, they're so close! Can we do it? Yes! We got this! We're just popping off these wins. Are we unstoppable or what? I don't know. Bringing in Tyson Chandler and Luke Cornett for Z, and that's round pick. No. I like the... Yeah. Mainly because this is going to happen. I mean, the outlook of that trade is so much better than what I could have imagined, or what I would like to imagine. There we go. I knew that was gonna be the hardest thing, dude. And we lose against the Raptors. 2 losses in this period. 3 losses. 3 in a row, too. Wow. Brought back down to earth after a really long period of being relatively unstoppable. Making up a lot of traction in 3rd position. Let's just look around. See whether we can find anything for Semenko. So we're going to look around a bit. Trevor Booker. Because I'm trying to get a power forward back just to back up. Jonathan Simmons is there. Domantas Sabonis. A couple first. Patrick Peterson. I'm not really that exhilarated for. Thing is that his quality is just something I can't really take away from him at the moment. Sinners, it's a bit of an upgrade, but I'm not. And Chavez, who's actually decent on the 2-8. No, I can't do that, and I can't. The thing is it doesn't look like there's anything particularly great out there for me. Like, maybe this Mike Scott trade just because he's out there for a year, but I'm going to have to fill in his position. And a Matt Neal Moutier for Fred VanVleet. I mean, while it's an upgrade, it's really just not something I want to do at the moment. I don't really want Emmanuel Moutier ruining my plans with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Simmons, I mean, yeah, but not really. Not with Malik Monk there. Greg Monroe's not really going to fit in. Jared Allen, I would really highly consider if we could maybe get. So we're going to add in Zizic. So maybe for Rondé. Don't want to do that. Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, you're really gonna give him up? No. Why would they do that? What if I throw in a pick? Oh. This trade's a bit of a big one. So Jared Allen, Rondé Hollis Jefferson will turn into a small forward. Or power forward. And Alex Caruso's points will probably turn into a shooting guard. Just because. And picks. I'm going to take it. Can't say no to working out a deal. Alright. So now I gotta figure out what so Caruso. Well, okay. Let me fix my positions really quick so I could figure it out. Roster. Okay, so now I got that fixed, I can kind of thin out and throw back in Tatum. And, yeah. Nah. Put Tatum in. Give him more minutes than Rondé, I guess. Nah. But I'm going to move him up. Alright. There we go. I like that lineup a lot. And even Rondé Hollis Jefferson will continue to remove. Alright. Now that we've really figured out what we're doing here. Good. So, let's just, if we need to. I like Jared Allen. I really do. He's a solid guy. And I'll keep Tatum because he might be becoming integral as. So for the rest of this stream, we're gonna look at some awards. We're gonna look at some injuries. We're gonna look at some highlights to kind of highlight as we're exiting, and then we're gonna exit and we're gonna come back maybe tomorrow. So for the rest of this stretch, these 4 games. The Bulls. That's about it. I don't expect anything else. Maybe a loss. Maybe. Are we gonna start? I didn't see that.
I also did not see that. I'm kind of moving around a bit. Oh, he's definitely not going to get, like, that kind of minutes there, but... Alright, so, hold up.
Oh, poor timing.
Alright, so now that we're at halfway point, let's just kind of look over. Yogi Ferrell and DeMarcus Cousins, both with dislocated left patellas, out for the season. Not good for their respective organizations, especially with, I imagine, with Lakers doing really good behind him. It really sucks to see his season end like that. Yogi Ferrell, I'd imagine a pretty quality, 74 overall, pretty quality backup. Scout Labissiere, after we let him drop, gave him away pretty much whatever we did, 2 to 4 months out. That's something I noticed this season, more so than last season. We're definitely less injury prone, so that's really good. Award races, Stephen Curry, LeBron James, Giannis, and Kyrie's up there, and Ben Simmons as a point. Glad I put him there. Looks like he's really shining. Looks like he's really got his stuff figured out. I don't know about, I'm pretty sure he still hasn't figured out his three-point shot. I mean, no. He's got a bit of a mid-range, which is decent enough, but he looks like he's doing what he needs to do to be a leader there. Kyrie's doing a lot in his own area, and so is Giannis. Braun took a bit of a step back from last year. Yeah, just and not in some areas, but other than that, it's been a pretty typical season. Other than that, upcoming free agents, RFA, probably UFA. So Kevin might be there, but I don't know whether they'll re-sign with him being an 88 overall and 31. Maybe, but also probably not. Next actual free agent. Maybe Markel. Maybe. Yeah, there's not a ton of names that I could obviously see. Let's look at the all-star teams you could look over, and I'm going to just name out some names that just kind of come out at me just because of a specific set. As a reserve, Russ coming off the bench, but looking at that team, it's obviously clear why there's a lot of talent there. D'Angelo Russell making his first all-star game. Who else? Julius Randle. That's actually a pretty surprising name. But other than that, everything's, pretty much what you expect. A bunch of multi-time All-Stars and some guys who had been really just looked at as All-Stars being drafted, but had to wait out 2 years, or had to wait it out for 2 years as they developed a bit more and really got adjusted to the league. So, let's just look at just kind of the conference standings. Milwaukee's leading by 4.5 games, just kind of doing their own thing. Malcolm Brogdon, Sterling Brown, Giannis, Jabari, John Henson, left. Darius Papadopoulos not playing. Whatever. Thon Maker, Trevor Booker, Jeremy Grant, DJ Wilson. Really an unsuspecting team by any means with that roster, especially compared to ours, who has just a lot of what would now be considered household names and just bunches of names that have come together. Boston, the 76ers, Wizards, Nets, Bulls, Pacers, Hawks, Heat, Hornets, Magic, Raptors, Knicks, and Pistons. Pistons finally fell apart after losing Blake Griffin, and this is what happens. Reggie Jackson wasn't going to get you anywhere, and no one else you had did, and you also don't have a certain center who probably also left, because why would you want to play on a team that's not going to go anywhere? Knicks, awful. And the Raptors. Seth Curry takes over for DeMar DeRozan, so after DeMar DeRozan leaves and they don't really figure out any solution after that, it just really looks pretty bleak for them. I guess it's just because... Was he injured? Yeah, I guess he's been off and on injured, so they're just... I don't know. I think the issue is I don't know. So let's take a look at the Western. Golden State. So the Warriors, the Rockets, Nugs, Timberwolves, Jazz, Grizzlies, Mavs, Kings, Thunder, who are just outside the playoffs. Based on what they have, T-Ferg should develop out a bit, but he's in the same position as Paul George. Maybe Patrick Law, Keon Westfall, Bishop. They got a lot of young guys that might not develop into anything. I think that they're in that awkward phase of trying to figure out trying to find someone to sign to become part of the big three there, while also trying to develop some of these guys and hoping some of these guys work out. Spurs also outside the playoffs. Suns back to 500. Josh Jackson develops out a bit. Okay. Larry Nance, Mohamed Bamba, Miles Bridges. This team should be better. They'll probably get better within the next 2 years, and you'll probably see them in playoffs within the next 2 years. This year, not. Lakers kind of being 500. Blazers still being kind of bad. Really haven't fixed any of their issues. And matter of fact, they only put Pat Connaughton, who's actually pretty good as a starter, at the small forward, and Zach Collins. So it's really, they're just letting him develop, and the guys over top of him are just not great or too good right now, which makes sense in the West. And the Clippers, yeah, this is a bad roster, just because I think that there might have been a bit too much hopes and dreams put into this roster. It looks like there's, other than like Michael Bridges and even Aaron Holiday, Tobias Harris and DeAndre Jordan being here only means that they were looking for one piece, and maybe they're setting all this up to have their one piece at the small forward position this next offseason. But other than that, it just looks really weird to have all these names and all these faces, and looking at these overalls, it just looks really funny, because you would imagine that there would... What? Yeah, you would imagine that they would be a bit, or you would think with like a LeBron James, they would be in playoff contention, or somebody of value like, say, Kevin Durant, Brandon Ingram, hell, even could have lifted them up into playoffs. They're one piece away, and their roster really sets up. Like the AI had really said, hey, this is our checklist. This is what we got to do to get this player. That's kind of where they set off. And the 16-41 Shitikins, Drew Holiday, Will Barton, Melo in his waning years, Anthony Davis. Oh, is he going to leave? Really? Really? This is really weird to see him just go basically, I ain't going to leave. I mean, they're probably going to resign him in his 28th season.
There's not that often that I see them drop in free agency. They just kind of re-sign because they have all this cap because they don't sign jack shit and don't draft anybody worth a damn ever. Their team is just god-awful. Like, if you're going to rebuild a team that doesn't, or that never stems out to almost anything, it's the Pelicans. And I guess 2K20 that changes a bit because they got all of the they got literally the heart and the soul of the future of the Lakers given to them. That's the only reason why they're going to be any good from now here on out. But if any like 2K19 and previous, if you're going to choose one team to really just rebuild because they need it, it's that team. And on the Eastern Conference, it's generally the Hornets, but they're doing pretty good in this save. They were at 4th last season, and they've really cooled off, and it's quite apparent that they should have. But with Kemba Walker, Buddy Hield, Caspi, Kaminsky, Hernan Gomez, Osman, Batum, Lamb, Bacon, Quarterman, Harkless, Marvin Williams, that team deserves to be right around here with the Knicks. Toronto is a surprise. I've never seen this happen. Everything usually ends up going pretty solidly, and they end up developing. It just looks like they just couldn't figure out their offseason. And I think that all these teams simmed out to have an expectation to compete for LeBron. And when I cleared up my cap and gave him all the money he could ever ask for my team, because it was our team's option whether we could give him a supermax, so we gave him a supermax, and he couldn't say no because it was the most amount of money he could get in there. And honestly, by that point, we'd already traded away and looked to be on the upswing. And I really feel like we're doing that again. Till next time, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I can't promise. This has been Jam Pack 001. Don't forget to hit the like. Don't forget to tell your friends to subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe yourself if you haven't already. And enjoy the rest of your evening. And until the next time I see you, goodbye.